insert. Ooh, what is up, everybody? This is your boy here, Caesar, coming at you live right now. Or if you're on YouTube, hi, how's it going? Today we are doing a deck tech for a mono red burn budget build I have recently built. The deck is around $111, but remember, this is modern, so it is going to actually just a one-time investment. Now, what we are looking at today is a mono red burn budget build. All right, I think a lot of these cards come like these aren't. This isn't going to be in a tournament deck. This is like your Friday Night Magic type deck. So what it is basically a mono red burn deck, right? We all know how to play burn. Burn is easy. Not gonna lie, but for like this video is like for newer players coming into the game and such. So how do we play mono red burn? Well, let's start like this. To play mono red burn, basically your goal is you don't want to be aggro. You don't want to be super aggro, right? Basically you want to think about the next turn ahead, right? You want to try to play most of your spells on the opponent's turn. So to play most of your spells, what we're going to do is you always want to have at least 2 to 3 lands per hand. Start like that. That's how you want to start your hand. At least have 2 to 3, or have the ability to draw more lands. So what I would recommend everybody do is just play basic lands here. So when we play those basic lands, it basically gives us the ability to use our lands immediately. That's going to be the goal. Play basics or play fetches, because it is modern and we can play fetches in modern. So to start with, you want to have 4 copies of Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt on TCG Player right now, as it shows, is $1.79. That is market price. Now you could probably get 4 of them for $1 a piece with a little bit of extra shipping cost from another vendor, which I'd highly recommend. Support your vendors. You need 4 copies of Lightning Bolt. It's a given. It's modern. You know, it is a really decent card in general. Then you're going to want 2 copies of Risk Factor. Now, when you want to play this card is at the end of the game, right? If say it's turn 3 and they're already at like 8 health, they don't want to take any more damage. So you're going to play Risk Factor. It's going to allow you to draw 3 and potentially end the game there. So that's one of your win conditions right there. This is a win condition card. Risk Factor is. Definitely play your Risk Factors at 4 or 8 life. Then we're going to want to, and then Searing Blaze, it's a given as well. But it's just basically only if you have a land per turn. It's also good. It deals 3 damage to target player and 3 damage to that creature instead. So you can actually do, if a land enters the battlefield under your control this turn, Searing Blaze deals 3 damage to that player and 3 damage to that creature instead. So basically you have potential to remove a 3 strength creature or more, just depending if you already damaged it. You want 4 copies of that, and then 3 damage to player is a given. Skullcrack. Players can't gain life this turn. Damage can't be prevented this turn. Skullcrack deals 3 damage to target player. That's a really good 2-drop 3 spell. Just because if they're playing like mono white weenie life gain, right? You can always have that in your hand. It's also a good 2-3-drop, like a good 3-drop spell, right? So it pays for itself, right? It's like Lightning Bolt, like the new version of Lightning Bolt on steroids, or Lightning Strike technically. Lightning Strike. It's the new version of Lightning Strike. And then we go to our sorceries here. 4 copies of Lava Spike, a really expensive card in the deck. Not too overly bad though in price. So you want to have those 4 copies of Lava Spike. Most likely you're going to get them for $4 a piece. Let's just be straight here. If you can buy them from your LGS, go for it. I'm telling you, buy it from your LGS, guys. Support the local game stores. Really good card. Really, just read it itself. It's another Lightning Bolt. Another 4 copies of Lightning Bolt in your deck. Just a different play state. Alright. Light up the stage given. Exile top 2 cards of your library until end of turn. The end of your next turn. You may play those cards. So it's just basically a free draw spell to help you get closer to either if you need a land or you need a land, basically a land and a spell. You could potentially draw both. Then we're going to go to Riff Bolt. Riff Bolt is a card I've actually never heard of until I started building this deck. Believe it or not. It's from Time Spiral Remastered, and then I think it was also in the original Time Spiral. So it's a spend for 1. You always want to suspend it for 1, unless your opponent's tap. Just rather than pay this card's caught from your hand, you may pay 1 and exile it. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove the time counter when the last is removed. Cast it without paying its mana cost. This is going to be one you want to play like mid to late game, maybe, or play right away. So, like, if you have 1 mana, if you have two mana in hand, right, and you already played your, basically, you can play it for 1. It's something you can put down on turn 2. It's like a turn 2 card, I would say, actually. Yeah, this is turn 2 burn spell as well for 3 for 1 mana. So you always want to suspend it, I would say. And then you got your Skewer the Critics. Basically 3 damage. So if you Riff Bolted, right? You put that Riff Bolt down suspended and hit it for 1. You have a 1-drop Spectacle coming right at him next, right? So right now, a 1-drop Skewer the Critics ready to go. So, Monastery Swifts. This is a card that is really damn good. I think it's better than the give creatures -1/-1 from Amonkhet. I think you guys know what I'm talking about. I'll have to look it up. But it's so much better. It's got haste, prowess. So prowess is always good. You know, let's be honest here. Prowess is most decks that cast spells is good in this. So Monastery Swifts given, right? $3 a piece. You could also take it down a cost by throwing in that Salamander from War of the Spark. I believe that was a set, right? That Salamander card, where you tack 1 if you want to get a little bit cheaper on these, if you don't want these guys. Runaway Steamkin, given. You know, you're casting 3 drops. It's a 2-drop. It's a little slow, but I think we can get it to work. Runaway Steamkin. When you cast a red spell, if Runaway Steamkin has fewer than 3+1/+1 counters on it, put a +1/+1 counter. So this is going to be a card you want to try to get out on turn 2. If you don't have any cheaper spells to play, try to get this out on turn 2, or Thermal Alchemist on turn 2. Thermal Alchemist, defender, when deals 1 damage. Tap Thermal Alchemist, deal 1 damage to each opponent. Whenever you cast an instant or sorcery spell, untap Thermal Alchemist. Basically, you can get it. Basically, if you keep this card out for a turn, you can play 1 light up the stage for free. It's the spectacle cost will help you out so much with draw. And then if you have Runaway Steamkin, say you played that on turn 2, turn 3, and they both stayed. You guys got some pretty good stuff going. So, I technically probably play Thermal Alchemist on turn 2, guys. Here, actually. Sounds good, Carlos. Shout out to Carlos and all my mods in chat. Check them out, guys. Jester, big shout out to her. Big shout out to Carlos and all of them. Thermal Alchemist, I would say you either play that turn 2 or turn 3. But most likely turn 2, you want to play that first and then play your Runaway. 18 mountains, you don't need too many lands because we have the Runaway Steamkin in there. Also, in Burn, you don't want to run that many lands in general. Because you just want to get your spells out and make them as cheap as possible, right? So, let's go to the sideboard here. I think we all get the gist. We're just casting spells at our opponent. So we're going to put Dragon's Claws in there. If we have a player who is playing Burn as well, I'd recommend putting Dragon's Claw into your sideboard. Because life gain hurts It really does. And whenever you cast a red spell, any spell in this deck is red. You gain 1 life. So if you have just as an aggro deck as you are playing against, it's very situational. But basically, you play that down, they won't know what to do. We're going to skip over Ratchet Bomb and explain that one later. Soul Guide Lantern, Graveyard Recursion creature decks, right? I don't know how many are in there currently in the modern meta, because right now we're just trying to do basic stuff, right? So Soul Guide Lantern, basically easy removal for each opponent's graveyard, right? So if they're playing Graveyard Recursion, you drop that down on turn 1, and I'd replace it with, find something to replace it with. Searing Blood, given. Searing Blood, basically deal 2 damage to target creature. When that creature dies this turn, Searing Blood deals 3 damage to target creature's controller. An amazing card. Basically, really good for burn. Basically what you're going to do is kill the creature, deal 3 damage, get your spectacle, light up the stage, all that stuff for free. Now let's go to Smash to Smithereens, artifact removal, and it deals 3 damage. Pretty much simplistic, right? Everything's between a 1 and a 3 drop here, potentially. Okay, Ratchet Bomb. I put a lot of thought into this one, guys. And there's a reason behind it. And the reason is, what if somebody is playing that mono white ley line? You know, they just put in their sideboard for just a situation like this. Well, you're not going to be able to attack them. You won't be able to hit them. You won't be able to cast a spell at their face. So how do we allow that? Well, we put a Ratchet Bomb or the other land in here. I thought Ratchet Bomb would be better for this type of situation. Because at that point you're going to be playing for turn 3, 4 anyway. At that point you're going to be playing late game. Basically, if they get that ley line down on turn 1, I'm just going to be honest with you guys, you got to probably concede at that point. If you concede, GG, go next, right? Best way to put it. GG, go next. So now we're going to emulate it. I don't have the cards on me currently right now. They are in the mail coming. So let's go ahead and emulate the deck here, and I'll show you guys a little bit how it's played. So here's our opening hand. We got a mountain, a light up, and a skull crack, 2 skull cracks, and a monastery. I think we're going to go ahead and play this hand. This is just the potential with the light up the stage. So we're going to go ahead and play a land for turn. Alright, land per turn, tap it, tap, double click. Alright, we're going to tap the land to play our monastery, right? There's our monastery. So now we're going to go to combat. So we went to combat, we're going to tap it, because it doesn't have vigilance, swinging them at them for 1 turn 1. So they will move, the player 2 will take 1. Alright. So add 1 to the red. Mana pool. Add, hang on. How do I get rid of these? Okay, right click. Sorry, this is my first time using this. So, now we go to turn 1. So turn 2. Alright, we untap. Beginning upkeep. Draw. Where's our draw card? Draw card. Alright, we got another mountain. A really good hand. Alright. Now, in my book, I would play, here's what I would do. We play 1 lightning bolt. Cast it. So we cast it, doing 3 damage at them. There we go. 1, 2, 3. And then we get a prowess trigger. Add a counter. So now that is a 2, 3. A 2, 3 on the board. So we tap that land to play that. Alright, 2, 3. Lightning bolt goes into the graveyard. Sorry about that, guys. We cast lightning bolt. Alright. Swing at them for 3. For 2. Tap. We're going to swing at them for 2. Boom. Take away 2 life. 1, 2. Alright. Move to second main. And then we're going to play light up the stage. Alright, for 1. Tap to light up the stage. Tap for light up the stage. Draw 2. Alright. There's 1, 2. Alright, so we got those. These are suspended into exile over here. We'll just play these like this. These are exiled next turn. Go ahead and put this into graveyard. So we'll put these in the exile pile. We know we got them. Alright. So now we pass the turn, yada 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 yada. So we pass turn. We're going to draw for turn. Draw a card. Alright, we got a Riff Bolt. Well, I think you guys get the drift though, right here right now. So to remove the counter. Alright, they no longer have the counter. So what do we do in this situation? Well, there's two things. We can either play our Runaway Steamkin, or we can play our Lava Spike. I think in this situation, we're already on turn 3. I say we go ahead and play the Runaway Steamkin. So tap 2. Swing in for 1. That's what I would do. So swing in for 1. Tap. This is just all hypothetical right now, guys. So swinging in for 1. So they take the 1. Alright, down to 12. Alright. Turn count. So we're gonna go to a now the card, the Lava Spike, will go into exile for the rest of the game. Alright. Now we go to say they play something, say they're playing like a really slow deck, right? And then this is just to give you guys an example. So now we're gonna go to next turn they pass, untap. Alright. Draw for turn. Another Runaway Steamkin. Now this is where you want to get tricky at. I think what I would do is this is a hard one for me too, guys. We'll go ahead and suspend this. Play card. Suspended. So this is suspended now. So we got that. We got the Riff Bolt suspended. Does not count as casting it. So we had to tap 1 to do that. Just tap it in. And then we swing at for 2. Swing for 2. Boom, boom. This is going a little bit slow, but it just to give you guys an example. Now we go, yeah, nothing happens. Draw for turn. Alright, untap. Make sure you guys always untap. Trigger comes off on that. So first thing you want to do is pay the 1. That was still tapped. We pay the 1 we left up. And cast Riff Bolt at him, doing 3 damage. Alright, there's 3 more damage. Now this goes into, I think it's the graveyard. Yeah, no, it goes into exile. Alright. Now we go to untaps. Untap, untap. This gets a +1/+1 counter on it from that spell. So now this is now a 2/2. Alright. So we're going to go and draw a card for turn. Alright, Thermal Alchemist. See, we're missing land drops, but that's okay. So, I think this turn we could actually go for win. And that also got a prowess trigger right here. So we got another one. That's 4 damage right now. I didn't mean to untap that. 4 damage. So, I think, and then you go for win. So 4 damage, plus, so tap 2. Play Skullcrack. There you guys go. Alright, GG. And you swing in for 3. And then 3. Swinging for 3. And that just to give an example, guys. The game would probably go faster IRL, but you know how it is. So, because this at the beginning of upkeep. Remember, this card says at the beginning of upkeep. So remember, you may pay 1 to a timer counter on it. Exile it with a timer counter. At the beginning of your upkeep, remove a timer counter when the last is removed. You cast it. Oh, you didn't even have to pay. See, I didn't even know. I thought it was just you. It's basically a free burn spell. Anyway, but now I sit there and see that. So, you guys see, that was a free burn spell. I didn't even have to pay for it. So, all right, guys. I think that is our deck tech. Basically, just to show you how a game would work. It would actually go faster than that. Now that I sit there and realize it, but see, I'm always learning. So if you guys learn, I'll learn too. As always, guys, stay cool, have some fun, and drink and kick some butt, guys. All right, deuces, everybody. Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. Thank you for that $10, Mr. Kayfabe. How's it going, buddy? I am so sorry. I was just recording a YouTube